YouTube channel. It's your girl June the Brat, and I'm back with another freaking video. Today guys, I'll be filming a video giving Houston, Texas strip club recommendations, urban clubs to gentlemen's clubs, and I'll be giving advice on how to audition and how to go about working in those clubs. So guys, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this video. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start with the urban clubs. I didn't start working in urban clubs until I moved to Houston. I did not know urban clubs existed, or there was like a difference between like gentlemen's clubs and urban clubs, but I learned it quite quickly after I moved out here. So if you're planning on moving out here and you've only worked in gentlemen's clubs, let me put you on. So first, with urban clubs, it's strictly black music, like booty shaking music, all night trap music, that type of music. The crowd is genuinely mostly black and Hispanic, not really Hispanic, but more on the black side. The dancers are genuinely black, of course. There's a lot of butt shaking, pole tricks. You really don't have to talk to the customers. You really just have to walk up to the section, and if they think that you have a nice body, you have a pretty face, and you know it's good enough for them to be in their section and they want to throw the money on you, okay, cool. But if they don't, you will get a rude awakening. They will kick you out the section. So yeah, make sure that you're always hair done, nails done, makeup done good, your outfit's popping, and yeah, you know what you're doing on stage. Because if you go into a stage at an urban club and you look a mess, you're gonna know that people think you look a mess. That's why I be drunk when I go on stage, because that's when I'm most confident. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's faster money, because usually in urban clubs they'll buy like, I don't know, sometimes they'll buy like 1,000 ones, 2,000 ones, 3,000 ones, 10,000 ones. I've seen somebody throw 10,000 ones before. So it's easier, like if you're in those sections, to like, you're gonna make the money, you split the bag, like with the other girls who are in the section, you split the bag. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's fast money. Like once you have that good section, you gonna make good money. I would also recommend to have a dance partner, so these just don't try to play with you, because a lot of times these girls be bullies and they will try to bully you for your money. You'll dance in a section and they'll try to kick you off a bag on some weird stuff and try to fight you. I've witnessed a lot in the urban clubs, stuff that I was never used to, so it was like a rude awakening quick, and I wasn't having it. They wasn't finna play with me. But yeah, make sure your outfits are good. Like, appearance is everything in the urban clubs, and you have to know how to dance. Get connected, get to know the DJs. The DJs are the most important people, and the promoters, bottle girls, the waitresses, because if they fuck with you, then they gon' make sure you're good as long as they good. I've learned that too. So that's that with the urban clubs. Like, urban clubs, it's super quick money. If they fuck with you, you have to hustle, you have to look good, know what you're doing on stage, know what you're doing in your sections. Don't get too messed up, because people gonna try to play with you, like I said. And have a dance partner, because yeah, baby, being a one man sometimes isn't good, depending on the type of clubs that you go to. So that's my advice for the urban clubs. For the gentlemen's club that I'm more used to being a part of, for me, I've had to walk. I could literally walk into an urban club and they hire me on spot, right? Like that's what I've been like. That's what's happened with me. Like I walked into some gentleman's club, and because I'm pretty and I have a nice body, I get hired. I haven't actually had to audition. I just walk in. They're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll hire you." Like, yeah. So, but the hard part is getting into like the gentlemen's clubs that like have them ones, like the men's that are spending a lot of money, and it's super 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 white and in the city. Like it's hard to get into those clubs because it's strictly white. Like it's white. Like you gotta really know somebody to be able to get into those clubs. So that's the most annoying part about the gentlemen's clubs. But once you do get into one, you have to know your way. You have to know how to work those clubs. Like for example, you have to be able to have a conversation. Like a lot of the times men go in there to have conversations, and then once they like mess with you, then they gonna spend that money. Like they gonna give you money, they gonna hand you hundreds and 20s, and they gonna throw ones on you on the stage. Like they gonna mess with you. But you have to have good conversation. If you can't conversate, then you might as well just not even go to gentlemen's clubs, because a lot of the times they want to talk, they want to drink, and they want to talk. It's that simple. But if you don't know how to talk, then you ain't gonna make no money. Also too, like I haven't worked at one where like they go pole crazy, but maybe because like I don't know, like I just haven't been able to work at like one of the top ones. I'm gonna get in there one day. I'm gonna figure it out. But I've seen a lot of interesting things happen on the stage at gentlemen's clubs that wouldn't fly at urban clubs, and I'm just like, you know what? I look great here because I could really work the stage. Since I've moved to Houston and I had to work at urban clubs, I've learned how to work the stage, which is good, which makes it even better working at gentlemen's clubs, because then they look at you and they're like, wow. And you're just like, yeah. No. So yeah, with the gentlemen's clubs, you really just have to know how to conversate, and you have to know how to drink, because they're gonna want to drink with you. They're gonna want to buy your shots, buy your drinks, all that. Like if you have good conversation, you're gonna have regulars. And it's important to have regulars in gentlemen's clubs because they're always gonna put money in your pocket. Every time they're gonna ask for you, every time. They're loyal, really really loyal customers. So in that sense, I like gentlemen's clubs, because like you really don't have to shake your ass unless they go to privates, like private rooms and stuff like that. Like they have those in gentlemen's clubs, private rooms, where they'll buy out the private room, and it's either they want to talk to you or they're gonna have you dance. Whatever happens, but they have to spend, and they're gonna spend that money. So I haven't seen any private rooms in urban clubs, so you don't have to worry about that going to urban clubs. I don't even think they have those. Also too, with gentlemen's clubs, you're more clothed. Like urban clubs, you're naked, damn near naked. At gentlemen's clubs, they want you dressed, they want you no titties, no nipples showing, they want you like covered, like bottom covered. What else? Yeah, I know at some strip clubs, well, I know at Dreams, you're not even allowed to dance on the floor, because then that's considered prostitution. So that's tea. In urban clubs, you're really not supposed to show your nipples, but people don't listen. They don't care until they get raided and whatever happens. But that's that. Gentlemen's clubs, you're a lot more covered. Sometimes people will even wear like nightgowns and stuff like that to the clubs, because that's what they like. They like it a little more classy and covered, because in the end, like, you make your money more off of conversation anyway. You really don't have to do the most, except for $20 lap dances, and it's like a minute song, maybe 45 seconds of a song. So it's pretty simple bag. Like, it's just, you gotta have that conversation. You gotta be pretty and you gotta get them to mess with you. That's what matters. Also tip out. Tip out is very important. So at the clubs and at the urban clubs, the tip out ranges usually from like 50 to like 200, maybe even more, to work that night, depending on if there's going to be any celebrities, if it's supposed to be a good night. Your tip out's going to be expensive, like super expensive. At gentlemen's clubs, the most I paid for a tip out is like $20 to $50. Like, you really do not have a big tip out at gentlemen's clubs, and that's good because, you know, if you really don't make a good amount of money that night, then it's not like you're taking a big loss. Working at urban clubs out here, you spend what, $200 to get your hair done, you spend $100 to get your makeup done, you spend $100 on outfits, then you have to pay $100 tip out, you have to pay the DJs, you have to pay the sweeper, the house mom, parking. Jesus, by the time that your day is over, you probably dropped like $600-$700, and that means you have to make that back. Like, you have to make that back, or you're going to continuously take loss. So you have to hustle. Like, when you're working at urban clubs, you have to hustle and make sure that everything that you paid for, you get that back, especially the house fee. I used to get mad when I did not make my house fee back, because I'm like, bro, I didn't have to pay the house fee, DJs, I used to walk out with an attitude, and I used to be hungry, so I used to get me wings, and I'd be mad. So yeah, make sure that you hustle in urban clubs, because you gotta pay that tip out back. In that case, I'm gonna give you guys advice on where I think you guys should work in Houston: urban clubs and gentlemen's clubs. So I'm starting with urban clubs. I think the top urban club in Houston, Texas would be Area 29. With Area 29 though, like, you gotta have that body, you gotta be that. Like, I've seen Ari's friends, Ari and Tay's friends, they've worked at Area 29. So, you know, they have the baddest of the baddest, banging bodies, hair slayed, makeup slayed. They just thick bodies, like crazy, like fire. So, and you know, Drake be there, all the celebrities be there. So tip out high, whatever. But I mean, you make it back, because it's like the club to work at. If you know you can get into Area 29, work there. I would say that's my top one. If I look like Megan Thee Stallion with the body, not the face, I would definitely work at Area 29. My second one would be Perfect 10. Perfect 10 is a good place. It's diverse. They have Hispanic girls, Black girls. Good place to work at. Also a place known for celebrities. They have auditions every Wednesday, I think, or just DM Horseman and he'll DM you back and tell you when you can audition. But Perfect 10 is definitely a good place, and it's in a good location. It's not too far away. It's by everything. So I'll say Perfect 10 is a great club to work at, and they don't have a tip out. And I think, like, I don't know how it works in that club, but I heard that everybody eats, and I think they mean it when they say everybody eats at Perfect 10. So that's good. And then my third one would be Onyx. I like Onyx. I think Onyx is a good club, and from what I've seen, they have a pretty decent amount of customers. Either Onyx or Dreams. I haven't been to Dreams in a long time, but they used to bring in a decent crowd, and I know that Onyx brings in a decent crowd too. Like NBA players, NFL players, rappers, they be having all that in there. So I haven't seen baseball players in Onyx. So I would say go to Area 29, Perfect 10, Onyx, or Dreams. Urban club wise, I mean, gentlemen's club wise, I really wouldn't recommend, if you're black like me, I wouldn't recommend any in the city. Like in the city, like by the Galleria area, like it's gonna be hard to get into unless you know somebody. But where I have worked is Vegas Men's Club, and they're cool. The customers are cool, management cool. It's a cool club, it's a cool vibe. I just wish they had more action there, because if they had more people there, that club would go crazy. So Vegas Men's Club, good. I liked it. The vibe was super cool. And I also heard that Paradise City is a good gentleman's club, and Buck Wilds. I haven't been to either of those, but I'm waiting to hear back from Buck Wilds because I'm thinking about working there during the daytime and then being a bottle girl at night. And then Paradise City, I need a Texas ID, so I'm gonna get that all figured out. But yeah, I hope this really helped you guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.